specimens we're going to do in such a place.
They were very friendly to each other, the boy sharing his minimal experience in camping stories.
I'm gonna try and drift around this corner and put my tail in underneath a trailer.
But he always managed to come off as calm. The bus arrived at the Welcome Center after about a 5-hour drive.
Like that, but you know, actually.
They still had 30 minutes before their guides would come and direct them to the camping grounds. So they all enjoyed the warmth of the indoors for one last time. Inside, the building was reminiscent of a cabin, and the only sources of heat were a single large fireplace stationed at the center. In what seemed like one of the group guides, they appeared to have gotten into a bit of a disagreement on what was it
Colorado introvert spending too much time with his head in the clouds.
That was kind of good.
Okay,
let's try it.
on the Outberg Chasm trailhead. A trail Cal recognized as different to the one given on the pamphlet when signing up. Being at the front of the line, one of the guides, Cal questioned them on this. The guide replied that the old trailhead had a rock slide and wasn't safe to traverse, so they would have to take an alternative.
See if there's anything else with like a cool. This one might be cool.
Just like that. Yeah, that was scenic right here. I'm saying, I'm afraid it might get captured on this. Yeah, staying. Oh, yeah. You think we're going to get the same traffic?
Do a circle all the way around?
Strangely, in doing so, definitely never would be watched. Because he's being watched. Even when he was in the back. So, we have the information that he is in fact absolutely in charge of the bench, yes. Because that's good. People that have he did talk to the guy. Truly not persuaded to submit to the guy. Yeah. Maybe went out way to go. The last bit. Trailhead, with the sun directly above them, almost completely hidden by the canopy of trees, giving a faint yellowish green light to the forest below. After walking for an hour and a half, they stopped for 5 minutes for a quick break. The two guides wandered off about 50 feet away and were examining something hanging from a tree. To Cal's confusion, they seemed concerned by it. He walked over to the two concerned guides and had accidentally startled them. What was hanging was a rope.
Parallel park.
The sun begins to set, and a reddish orange light peeks its way
Yeah, alright.
What?
You're naked, she shirts up.
What?
Bear ain't gonna come and mess up your orgy. Bear ain't gonna come while you're coming. He waits. He's a good boy. Crippling. He's also a dog.
Cal joined the group with the old man and the scout, and they headed about 100 yards up the trail and set up camp. Cal and his group tried to start a bonfire to cook, but the guide quickly stopped them, still using the excuse that they could attract large animals. So they ate what dry food they had brought, like protein bars. Everyone ate their food and went into their tent when seemingly out of nowhere, a rainstorm hit.
Just all of a sudden, it's raining. You didn't know this, guys? Because you're watching a YouTube video. If you're watching a YouTube video, but Wendigos have a special ability to control the weather. They do. All right. They're like a Bond villain. They're like Bond villains, but scarier, I guess. Yeah, they resemble Homer Simpson. Yes, they look like Homer Simpson. They're a lipless ape. Is what they've been described as looking like.
Thanks to the canopy of trees and the elevation of the ground, Cal's group remained mostly dry, while he remembered the other group had camped in the lower ground with fewer trees to protect them. It wasn't his problem, and they'd likely solve it themselves.
So he went to sleep. I like Cal. Cold bastard. Yep, I like Cal. Cold bastard. I like Cal. It ain't my problem. Ain't my problem. Right down there in the holler. The next morning, Cal woke to the sound of dripping water, birds tweeting, and a little hammer. What's wrong with
Try and make a complete drift around this, maybe?
It had been 10 minutes since the guy had noticed the perhaps they just watched the leave for some reason. As Cal and his group arrived at the other campsite, they found it vacant. Cal expected this, but what he didn't expect was to find absolutely no sign of them leaving. He expected that they, I guess that they like started to walk forward, move on, but not that they like as if he found them just disappeared. Yeah, he expected that they may have been leaving or they're dead. It seems like they got Wendigo.
Seems like they got Wendigo.
They got Wendigo. Yep, that's something different, I think. I think that's what you do in Halo when you get a kill. They checked the mud and any other place that may have boot tracks, but they found nothing. They heard their guide calling from the direction that they had come from. Perhaps he'd found the missing couple. The group headed back up the trail with the hair standing on their neck. Something was definitely off here. Yeah, you don't fucking say, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone!
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, it's
They're just shitting in the woods, all of them.
Yeah, big orgy, shit orgy. Big shit orgy out in the woods. What's that look like?
What does that even look like?
Did you come from the woods to start shit? Imagine that. It's like a Twilight Zone episode. Simultaneously shitting as they stare up into the camp to see some animal structures. Response until they heard the guy call once more. What the hell's happening?
Can't do that.
This is escalating extremely quickly. Yeah. This should be a movie. This is really
mimicking. I will kill you and fuck your corpse. Yeah, when that come into play, I promise you didn't tell me you'd fuck me. You said he was gonna eat me. Tell me, fuck me. This changes everything. Oh my god.
Perhaps they missed him all the way there, and he went to check on the site for himself. Reluctantly, Cal packed up all of his belongings along with the other two campers and headed back to the empty lot. As they walked back, they noticed just how quiet it was. The light rustling of the tall branches stood still. The squeaks of mice and the chirps of birds were non-existent. The bones that dotted
It scared me a little.
If he had not thought his life was in danger, he knew it now more than ever. A small rain fell from the sky, blotting out the sun, bringing the ever-so-vibrant forest to a much duller gray. In the distance, Cal saw a maintenance shed. Its walls looked ready to fall at any minute, but it still had a roof, which is all he needed. Now run by with no sign of the rain coming to an end.
An alarm kit starts to start. It's the cat. That's the one. This is footsteps. It's like footsteps. Is that what I got? When you think like deep and evil ways, no ways. Creaky walls. No, just trust me. Oh my God! Take this thing from the center. Is that awesome? It's a zombie movement.
For a while, they circled around until it stopped. It spoke, a voice that Cal had heard before. It was the guy's, but this close to it he could tell something was different. Each word was bawled from its stomach, but it wouldn't tell. It breathed deeply after each word in agony. It was unnoticeable while it was further away, but up close, it could not be ignored. It called for him. Cal cowered in the shed. After minutes of calming, it began to become agitated, calling out more frequently and louder, sounding nothing like the guide anymore, but like an animal that just learned how to use its tongue.
That's scary. Yeah, this is very scary. I don't like this at all. There's a purpose sound. Finally, it fell silent. Then it spoke one single word. Cal. Cal, it's his name. Cal was up to something. It's just learning how to use its tongue.
It slashed the shed into a large hole in the wall. A pale, inky arm stretched its way into the shed, its nimble fingers dancing towards his face. He knocked his hand away with force and pushed the door open, vaulting back into the woods. As he created distance, the creature scrambled, smashed the shed to pieces, then let out another shrill scream that made Cal want to curl up into a ball. But he pushed forward. He ran seemingly in random directions through the rain, trees, and mud, hoping to lose the creature. Sparingly using his flashlight so as not to bring attention, his feet beat down on the moist earth.
Watchfulness, of course, until he fell to his knees, gasping for air. When he tried to relate his lungs to oxygen, all he felt was death. Someone right in his lungs. Directly in his lungs, not in his mouth. Straight to the lung. Nice little air sacs. He'd arrived back in the cave. He was hesitant to go in, but the strong wind now picking up had helped him make his decision. He turned on his flashlight and entered the punching cave. Why? Why would you? Didn't you already make this decision, Cal? We've already dealt with the cave. The cave is like not even a question. Yeah. You don't get the cave. Not after what we learned. The nimble fingers are gonna get you. Yeah, the nimble slashing fingers smashing. That's where it lives. That's in the cave. Yeah, exactly. You just went into its house. And you didn't even knock. That's a power move. That's talking about beating off plump cocks earlier. Yeah. That being power move. That's power move. This is a power move. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Yeah. That's a power move. It certainly won't want to come home and just eat you there. Yeah, kill you. And then fuck you.
Cal went deep into the cave, trying not to gag on the increasingly horrid smell. As he walked through, he could see bones scattered across the ground, ranging in size. Some from small creatures appearing like they belonged to a mouse. But the deeper he got into the cave, the less clean the bones were. Some still having rotted flesh on them. Some with maggots, and the sound of flies buzzing filled the cave. Cal had to cover his breath and was grabbing his backpack to even continue. He reached a large chamber in the cave system and turned, aiming his flashlight to the back of the room. Scattered around the room were human bones, but at the back lay a mountain of corpses. All of them were mangled to unrecognizable levels. Cal fell to his knees, unable to do anything but weep. From the darkness called an unfamiliar voice. It didn't sound like anyone that came with them on their trip. Their voice echoed through the cave. It sounded like the voice of a younger boy. It called out to him, and in Cal's hysteria he responded. It asked several questions. Who are you? Where are you? How long have you been here? It prodded him for as much information as possible. More questions went by. It got closer, and Cal started to realize what was happening. He stopped answering. But it was already too late. He trained his flashlight at the entrance of the chamber and watched as it crawled in. Its eyes glazed over in pearlescent white. Its skin looked like it had been a set of antlers, cruising to your shoulders. It was an abomination.
A single stroke. That was bullshit. He lost me on that one. Thanks for watching this week's podcast. On YouTube,
I can't find any cool tricks to hit. At all. I need to find a cool trick. Do y'all know any maps on this for good stunts? Because I cannot figure it out.
My name is Caleb. My name is Clint. It's Clint, co-host. We're not related. We just met. Cool boy. I just got a house. He came with it. Yeah, we just both happen to be wearing very, very cool jackets. If you're listening, it's just a podcast. Listen, just imagine, we look really good. And you don't know what we look like? Imagine a couple white guys. Yeah, a couple white guys that look real good. Really good. Real good. Like, handsome. Yeah. As handsome as they come. As handsome as they come. Handsome enough to make. I got my papers here. I got my actual right papers. I got a lot of papers. I got 25 pages. That's a damn book. There's 25 pages worth of 25 pages of Bigfoot. That's our first episode is about Bigfoot. I leaked it. You fucking shit. You son of a bitch. Get off the podcast. Get off the podcast. There he goes. I'll take it. We got one up now. He's out, yep. We're still friends. Here we go. Episode 1, Bigfoot, Spooky Skeletons podcast.
Decided to call him abominable. Just obviously didn't spend the time to get to know him. The skunky is another type of Sasquatch. This Evergladian beast smells like someone juiced a fart, now suffers from the vapor.
Juiced a fart. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like Evergladian. The Evergladian too. I like juiced a fart better. I like that way better. That's funny.
The little guy of the Bigfoot tribe would, of course, be the Yowie. Ranging from 5 to 9 feet tall, these angry little guys are scrappy and have gotten into fights with people.
They're small. Yeah, fist fights with people.
Huh.
And like, it's just a fair match. No, they beat the fuck out of me. Oh, it says 5 foot tall, so I'm 5 foot tall, baby. My ass. That's a big fucking animal. That's strong. I mean, they can whip my ass, they can rip my dick off, put it in my ass if they wanted. I would like to. What else are we gonna do? Say no, it's stuff we can't do. Yeah, sad state of affairs.
Some things these variations of the hairy, big-footed beast all have in common is a lack of respect for the importance of personal hygiene, usually appearing to have matted hair, and being very, very pungent.
That's something we all have in common, and that's, yeah. I showered for this. You did? No, I got a pool. Same, yeah. Ever since I got a pool, I haven't showered. Now, as with Bigfoot cryptid, mysteries, whatever, because I don't really believe in Bigfoot. Really, I do. I believe in him, like, in his goals and, like, what he wants to do with his life. Yeah. And his dreams and whatnot, but I don't think he's real. You don't think he's real, but you hope he's doing well. You hope he's, like, achieving his goals. He's making it in life. Yeah. Yeah. Paying the bills, like, making ends meet and everything. Right, yeah. Like, Maslow's hierarchical needs. Or whatever. Yeah, did you know Peter King? You know who that is? Nope. Crazy guy on the internet. Crazy guy. He got fucked by a Bigfoot. Yeah, really? He cries about it. He makes a big because of
chance encounters can come from just about anyone. The first reported sighting of a Bigfoot, not attached to a human's leg, is attributed to explorer David Thompson, who, in 1811, discovered a set of Sasquatch footprints while traveling the Columbia River. Although, in 1811, before grooming products were possessed, perhaps this was just an unkempt river lad living in squalor.
So we just threw the average man of that era right under the bus. Yeah. So David says he's Dick Thompson. David, he's just saying that he's saying this. He's saying this. Yeah, he thought it. So he got footprints. He found footprints. Big ones. Maybe the biggest found is out the south. So maybe those guys just got flooded. And it was like average size footprints. Kind of like how sometimes I watch porn and I see guys with big dicks and I'm like, they're not the same species. No, that's different. Yeah, I'm different. Yeah, I'm not like that. But yeah, not the same.
The supposed sighting is unconfirmed, as good old Davy Tommy was not wearing his GoPro. The same cannot be said for Roger Patterson, who got on film bipedal and submissive and breedable for a man. I like that.
You know that film? That's the one with the titties. The fucking the iconic. Yeah. The titties. Doing the robot. With the titties now. Yeah, the titties. It has titties. Pendulous, swinging masses. Yes. My favorite. You know a big fan? I mean, better than not have them. Guys get lonely. Yeah, ask Peter King. Dog trainer. I gotta quit mentioning him. He's in like a bunch of trouble right now with allegations and stuff. Yeah, but I can't help that. He has an interesting story with Bigfoot.
Roger Patterson, joined by Paul Gibbons, directed the 1967 short film featuring the first capture footage of a Bigfoot. Now, damn shame they didn't wait 2 more years to release the
was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. Make a lot of money. Profit. Woo! Profit incentive. Yeah. Interesting. He probably did that too. What a capitalist. Entrepreneur. What an American way to fucking ruin something. Something so cool. You know what I would do if I found Bigfoot? I would tell everybody. I wouldn't even think about it. I'd be like, I found Bigfoot. Bigfoot. I saw him. I like the footage to prove it to you. Like, you don't have to be scared about, like, if it's just like a story, it's like, oh yeah, I was in the woods and I heard it and I saw it, blah, blah, nobody believes you and everything. I literally, I like, hey dude, I got Bigfoot. I saw it. You're like, really? Bullshit. I got fucking video. Show me. I show you and it's that big swinging pendulum breasts. Yep. And you're like, suck on. We should go book to
one thing that will always cast down on the legitimacy of something from skepticism is the potential for profitability. The footage was filmed at Bluff Creek, about 38 miles south of Oregon. Now, the exact location of the site is unknown, but finding it today would probably be nearly impossible. Tasked with it being in the woods, off a trail, nearly 50 years later.
The Patterson-Gimlin film, Patterson-Gimlin, I like that. I like that name, Gimlin. Yeah. I think I'm gonna name my first kid that. What's the, Gimlin? Gimli? Yeah, Gimli's the Lord of the Rings? Yes, Gimli. Kinda like the Yowie? Yappies, yes. I almost said Yappies. Kinda like the Yappies. That's the type of dog. Also, Bluff Creek. Yeah. I think they're bluffing. That's true. That's like fucking Liar's Bend. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. True. That's actually, I wonder if that's a little Easter egg.
Patterson-Gimlin film, which was of course recorded by Roger Patterson and Robert Gimlin, is a 60-second reel of footage that famously contains what is known as the first videographic sighting of the Sasquatch. Unfortunately, Robert had passed away of cancer in 1972, taking what little knowledge we have on this footage and its legitimacy to his grave, with Gimlin remaining as tight-lipped as ever.
He's a damn tight-lipped, just a secret keeper. Yep. I thought about that for a while before I said it. You did. Secret snatcher, I wanted to say. You're also a little tight-lipped. Literally, though. So Roger's the one that he died. He's also the one that actually saw it. Gimli, was Gimli there? Gimlin? Yeah. Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Gimli wasn't there. I'm not exactly sure. I guess they were just, it was like they both faked it together. Okay. Yeah, it was like a video production, and he was like the producer. What type of cancer did Roger have? How did he get his cancer? What's the funniest type of cancer? Let's see, stomach cancer. So it's sad cancer. Stomach cancer, that's terrible. Rest in peace, Roger. Rip. But that being said, did he get the cancer from sucking on the teat of the pendulous breast? Get some witch's milk? Yeah. Some witch's milk? Yeah. Yeah. No, I'd say he got it from the karma of being a capitalist sellout. That makes way more sense. Parks this joke.
Unfortunately, Patterson did not get to see the reaction the world would have to the first ever footage of the Sasquatch.
Breaking news, Bigfoot is real. And they released what they say is proof. Several never before seen short video clips of the legendary and very shy creature.
At least not in its full glory. While he was still alive, very few scientists would barely even give him the time of day to look at it. Which is a reasonable response, I guess. What exactly some guy in a lab coat is supposed to do when given 60 seconds of what could very well be a man in a monkey suit?
Man in a monkey suit. It's true. Very true. Yeah, it's like a good way to just lose all credibility if you're a scientist. Very, very true. Look at this thing, I got other scientists. Yeah, imagine being the scientist. It's like you want me to just like dedicate my life to your monkey suit video? Yeah, that's no.
Regardless of all the allegations they had received, they never did confess to it being a hoax. But, I say but, the closest we ever came to getting a statement on the legitimacy of the footage was a remark from Gimlin, alluding to the fact that it could have possibly been someone fooling him and Patterson.
Come around this big down old tree, and the creature was standing just about 30 or 40 feet on the other side of the grave.
That's like a kid. That's like a child. It wasn't me. It was
It was,
He's trying to pass the blame
someone else,
on
though.
somebody else. He's trying to tell me somebody else just happened to be in the woods, Mr. Gimli.
Chris is a fucking monkey.
Yeah.
You're gonna get shot. That's what's gonna happen.
100%.
Or you're gonna get filmed. Some fucking pervert with a big titty breast monkey suit.
That would probably be the most heartbreaking ending to the Patterson film. A single man dressed in a monkey suit, randomly walking around in the woods doing God knows what, pranks the entirety of the cryptozoology community for years to come.
That would be hilarious. That would be
Quite really fun.
That would be quite a troll.
They're pretty far away from civilization. There's just a guy that just like walks through the woods in monkey suits and it's like expecting to see other humans.
No, there's not. They're just admitting that they lied without directly admitting that they lied. Anyways, but there are real Bigfoots.
Another instance of a filmed Bigfoot encounter comes from Paul Freeman in 1994. When, while he was casting Bigfoot footprints of what he claims are young Bigfoots, he captured one. He claimed it appeared to be two Bigfoots standing to their young.
Bigfoot comes from dead. That's amazing.
Two Bigfoots tending to their young.
Having like a Disney movie.
I've never seen anything tending to its young.
I think monkeys did he also similar pendulous maybe it's two males and they adopted. They found it.
It's a progressive Bigfoot family.
Yeah,
I mean, that's reasonable.
that's wonderful.
In 1994, that would be like ahead of the times.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they have to hide in the woods.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Maybe this was people in monkey suits, and they went into the woods, and they that was them getting away from civilization. They wanted this lifestyle, this that was very progressive, especially at the time.
Right.
And they're hiding.
Yeah. They had wild, hairy monkey sex in the woods.
Yeah.
They're plump cocks.
Yes.
You're gonna love this one, by the way. This is New Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Now, perhaps the most disturbing encounter with a Bigfoot-like creature comes from a small Pennsylvania town in 1858. In December, members of the community of Lancaster saw
He sings like a man, but hairy as a bear. It's a quote, right?
in a farm pen.
Sucking the cows. A little Midwestern, but
Yes, you sound like you're from like Wisconsin.
yeah, Wisconsin, Minnesota, or
Yeah,
Canada.
up there.
Yeah, Saskatchewan. Yeah, you know. Yoder. How do they sound?
Yoders?
Oh, Yoder. Yoder. They kind of sounds like kind of weird, though.
Yeah. How do them Yoders sound?
Sucking the cows.
Just go very varied with it for
Fucking the cows.
no reason.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, they're Dutch, right? So, he sings like a man, but hairy as a bear. They saw it in the farm pen. Fucking the cows.
What does that mean, by the way? Sucking. I know, sucking the teeth, sucking sucking the just like sucking on them, sucking on cows.
Suck them off. Suck them off. They're plump cocks.
Do your thing.
Cows say. Cows. Anyways.
Need I say, he should have propositioned the townsfolk to ask permission for their valuable produce before helping himself. Perhaps even offer trade, as I'm sure he has lots of berries in his Bigfoot cave, or service like washing dishes at the local inn. Helping themselves to the cows in their milky udders is thievery, and thievery is against the law. Though the townsfolk weren't able to capture or track the creature, is one of the encounters the most people present corroborate this sighting.
Interesting. This was Lancaster, PA. You ever
like-
been up there?
I have, yeah.
Yep. A lot of Amish up there.
Amish up there.
A lot
I
of
call
Amish up
Amish.
there.
Amish.
Amish.
With a O. Yeah.
They don't like it. What were the Amish like in 1858? Just they were just
Same.
normal. No, they were
Same
like
as
everybody
everybody
else.
else,
Yeah.
They might have still been less evolved.
Yeah. So are they just like behind us?
Yeah, no. So like in 1858, normal people were like, these fucking Amish people, they don't even use money.
Yeah.
Like they don't trade. They
Yeah.
are.
They haven't invented the bucket yet.
They ain't got buckets yet.
Thanks.
Are you just pulling out this out of your ass?
Who was the bucket invented?
I assume before 1858.
What? Oh yeah, before 1858, but not when they are. Okay, but these are true encounters. True stories of people who got summoned by Bigfoot. I don't know. Let's see.
For generations, Tommy and his family had owned a cabin deep in the mountains of Appalachia. It was relatively secluded, well surrounded by trees and other large amounts of foliage. If you didn't know where it was, it might as well have not existed. The cabin was not grand, but it was nothing to laugh at. What started out as a two-room shack was slowly developed by Tommy's family over the generations into a two-story, five-room cabin. The upstairs portion of the home was the bedroom, while the downstairs contained the living, bathroom, kitchen, and study. This cabin was a special piece for Tommy, as he had made many fond memories over the years with his grandfather and his father. As the summer crept in, Tommy found himself between college semesters, and instead of working for the summer, he decided it would be easier and more relaxing to inhabit the cabin for the summer months and maintain the property until the coming fall. There have been complaints from the far and neighboring properties of vandalism, penny theft, and other strange, unexplainable things. For Tommy, it was the perfect excuse. He would watch over the cabin and shoo off any unwanted guests, all while getting to enjoy the nice, secluded, low-expense vacation. Before Tommy had set off, he packed all of his necessities, such as food and water. Tommy's father had warned him of the danger that someone could attempt a break-in. However, this didn't worry Tommy in the slightest because the two things Tommy was most keen on bringing was his father's S&W Model 1038 revolver from when he was in the police force, and a Gibbs carbine .308 along with ammunition for both.
He's strapped. West Model 10. That's good.
He's strapped, man.
Old school. Very old school. Go ahead, Buck. Made by hay. You shoot too.
But most important of all, Tommy brought his pet dog, Roscoe, an Australian Shepherd. Roscoe would be Tommy's only companion for his long stay at the cabin. The only other person he would have the liberty of talking to was perhaps the gas station clerk in the nearby town. Regardless, Tommy loaded up his Ford Bronco and started his 5-hour drive to the cabin. As Tommy's drive comes closer to an end, he notices the lack of buildings, cars, people, and really anything. He is alone out here. None but him, the trees, and the denizens of the forest.
Bigfoot. That means Bigfoot. Bigfoot. That means Bigfoot. That's exactly what that means. And baby. No, just Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot's I think Bigfoot voted for Trump. Bombshell alert. Bombshell alert. You think he's MAGA? I think he's MAGA. We gotta find him. We gotta press him. We gotta know why. See. We gotta see why. And she used to go Spanish for me. What did I mean? What did you mean? What did I mean with that? You don't need Bigfoot. And Trump.
Tommy makes it along a dirt path, which is also the driveway of the cabin. Pulling up, it is apparent that nobody's visited in a long time. Mother Nature had reclaimed the cabin and the surrounding fence. Tommy made a quick mental note of all the overgrown areas and other places that seemed like they would require maintenance. He then unloaded all of his belongings into the cabin, putting his personal items in the bedroom and living room, while making sure to properly store his food in the kitchen. Tommy would then start up the generator outside of the building, making relatively quick work of the process. The generator started producing almost a mechanical heartbeat, giving life and light to the cabin.
I like that. Yeah, very romanticized. That was very well written. Who wrote this for us? David Thoreau? Who wrote this for us? Paul Costa. The guy who wrote the Alchemist. Paulo Coelho. That's a movie. Paulo Costa. It's Paulo Costa. Paulo Coelho. I think he makes Mission Make.
Fuel, unfortunately, is a very finite resource, so he would have to use the generator sparingly in the future. But this was just a temporary solution until he could get his solar up and running in the cabin. The sun was already setting on his first day in the cabin, so Tommy prepared checked the solar-powered batteries he would use in the day for things like AC and a small console-style TV that hooked up to an old NES.
Lame, by the way. He's a gamer. He's a gamer, but a lame. Yeah. Unless this is like in like the mid. I don't know when this is stabilized. They have solar power. Yeah. Which are with that. I like it. Close to sun. You know, take it in. So far, this is just a dog in the woods. It's no suspect in here. Other than the kid wanting to stay in the woods calm. Yeah, that's where his calm. It tells us. It's like, who's been reading all this? Who's that voice? Let me see this.
Tommy noticed that the batteries weren't charging properly. Perhaps they were just old and weathered, but they seemed to be only getting up to 10% capacity. That said, he decided it would be in his best interest to just run solar in the day and the generator at night. Tommy calls it a day and returns to his cabin where he makes himself a pot of chili and reads a book on African big game to pass the time. With that, another peaceful day goes by. Tommy once again returns to sleep. But Roscoe knows better. They don't seem to want to approach just yet. Not with Roscoe still there.
Is that a line from Bigfoot? Did Bigfoot just approach people solar at night? Yeah, that was weird.
The following morning, Tommy wakes up again with the same sun. But the birds are no longer chirping, and the air stands deathly still. He gets back to work by examining the solar panels and battery further, tinkering with what knowledge he has, but to no avail. He cannot fix the batteries. Meanwhile, Roscoe continues staring out deep into the woods, only this time, however, he occasionally growls and snarls.
That's it. Yeah, we're getting on here. So no birds and trees, no flag streets. Yeah, we're hunting. Yeah, we're hunting one time. I tell you what, have you ever seen a battery that doesn't work? Like, I can fix this. I can just turn it around and make this. I mean, there's like tinkering skill in The Sims. Yeah. I mean, tinker until I destroy something. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Tinker. Don't lock me in the basement. Don't keep the ladder to the pole. I'll never escape. Yeah, that's weird. It's weird that, like, if the battery doesn't work, that's it's not true. Yeah, it's not fix a fucking battery. You need to pull one out and fucking pull it. No, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah. Get your pump cock, fucking go to the store, get your damn Duracell. God damn it, how many times I gotta tell you? Shit!
To this, Tommy remains oblivious and brushes it off as the canines board up. They have gotten more confident and have come even closer, only being halted by the fierce growl of a strange, small animal.
I like this. The way this is written is very interesting. Names. It's just like boom, boom. It's like boy perspective, then Bigfoot. I kind of feel sympathy for it. It's like somebody wrote a story for this. Is it like a story? Is this a real story? It seems like. Who wrote this? I'll tell you at the end. Let me know if you think it's true. Comment down below. Smash like and subscribe.
Tired of making no progress, Tommy goes on a walk around the property's fence to look for damaged parts so that he can come fix them later. There's no rush. Tommy has all summer to fix any damaged parts. He takes his grandfather's revolver with him and scans the grounds for snakes, all while walking along the fence and making notes of caved-in areas caused by weathering and trees falling. He walks along the fence line until he reaches a darker and denser area of the forest. Roscoe growls and barks, seemingly in random directions. Tommy then notices a strange bit of destruction on the fence. The wooden beam seemed to have been practically ripped up from the dirt and the barbed wire snapped. A deep dark crimson coated the wire. Perhaps a bear had been through the area, Tommy thought. Trying to rationalize, he proceeded with caution, remaining ever so vigilant. Tommy moved a few steps further when Roscoe had stood in front of him, facing away from Tommy into a thick bit of trees and brush, barking madly. Concerned, Tommy called out, worried that someone may have been trespassing. Then, without hesitation, Roscoe bolted into the leaves, trees, and bushes. What followed startled Tommy as he heard the crashing and snapping of leaves, twigs, and large branches as Roscoe pursued a presumably enormous creature. Tommy, fearing for his dog, rushed in after him, only to meet Roscoe running back to his side with his tail between his legs. What followed was a powerful, dreadful roar. The crashing of more leaves and twigs quieted as whatever the animal was moved away from Tommy further into the woods. Confused and afraid, Tommy beelined it back for his cabin. He never saw what Roscoe was chasing, but a part of him didn't want to know. Tommy had loaded his carbine rifle and kept inside for the rest of the day, trying to think about what could have possibly made such noises. Part of him wanted to say a large bear, while the other part knew that that was no bear.
Yeah, this dude he's ballsy though. I'd be shit.
Yeah.
He's ballsy.
Yeah, this is weird. This is very strange. So she didn't say anything about. We haven't gotten a conclusion to Roscoe though.
Yeah, I mean, he just like his dog got his ass whooped, and then that's it. Now he's just like, all right.
Yeah, he went back to the cabin and grabbed the Gibbs.
The Gibbs 308 carbine ref.
Yeah, I was expecting this to be like, and then he got in his car and went home.
I would have left. Yeah, I would have left and told everyone. On the way, like, I would have called everyone. I'd be like, Dad, you won't believe this crazy shit just happened to me out here. I got my Gibbs by me.
I got my Gibbs. Yes, Daddy, I've got the Gibbs. Yeah, I'm good.
That bear looked like a tick. Right now, tick for the woods. Old tick thing, big as a damn water balloon. Fat bastard.
Tommy spent the rest of the day attempting to calm his nerves by reading, but his concept of a safe haven was demolished. That night, he slept with a rifle by his side and a revolver under his pillow. The next day, when Tommy had finally built up enough courage, he went to continue his fence examination and started off where he had heard the creature. Roscoe stayed close by his side, no longer barking or growling, but whimpering. They walked for about 10 minutes around the fence before they came upon a creek. It was a beautiful area covered in grass, rocks, moss, and large trees. Tommy had gone closer to the creek bed to get a better view of the creek when Roscoe started barking ferociously once again. Then a large branch was thrown just inches from him, narrowly missing him. This disturbed Tommy. He was alone. Nobody else was supposed to be out here, yet a branch the size of his arm was just lobbed at him from the tree line. To say his heart sunk to the bottom of his stomach would be an understatement. What he felt was pure dread. Another item was thrown, this time a pine cone hitting Tommy on the head.
It hit the boy in the head. That branch fucking knobbed him.
Yes. When I think large branch, I think much larger than an arm.
Yeah, it's a small branch.
And then a pine cone? This seems like a human.
Yeah, this is a human or a meddlesome troll. What do you think?
Also, creek. How much would it bet? It's Bluff Creek also.
Oh, in the Appalachia. Yeah, when we were Washington State, it's connected. It's a long creek. It's a wide creek, too.
Yes.
In some spots. They say. There's a meddlesome troll out there as well.
In a mixture of fear and rage, Tommy screamed in the direction it was thrown. Tommy screamed in the woods and whatever hid within that he was armed. And he again received no response.
That's what he said. I have a gun! And then I have arms. I have arms.
To which another item was thrown at Tommy, missing his face by what seemed like an inch. It was a fist-sized rock. Tommy, losing his patience, fired a shot with his revolver straight into the air, and for a while, nothing was thrown. Then a flurry of twigs, pine cones, and rocks started pelting Tommy and his dog, hurting them. Tommy then fired a shot into the brush, deafening him for a short while and putting a ringing in his ears. When the ringing finally subsided, what he heard can only be described as a mix between a roar and a cry of agony.
That Bigfoot got shot. Bigfoot. He shot a Bigfoot. Whoever it is. He shot the beast.
What do you think the scream was like?
That's my cry of agony.
Can you imagine? You got a gun, something's throwing shit at you, it's like it's scared for a couple days. That's so funny. Oh, that would really be a meddlesome troll.
Absolutely.
And nothing more.
Yeah. Also, a fury of twigs, pine cones, and rocks.
Flurry, yeah.
That makes me think of Buddy the Elf and his ability to throw snowballs. Yeah.
A McFlurry of pine cones.
Yes.
Tommy was certain now that whatever this was not an animal, nor male.
Nor male.
Okay, it was a bitch. So it's just a woman? It's a girl out there.
Somebody's gonna scream, yeah. An angry wild woman. Like in Red Dead, that wild man. Give it thick titties.
Did it have pendulous succulents? Singing, succulent
breasts. We just high-five for those of you who are listening.
In a panic, Tommy turned in the cabin's direction and ran as fast as he could. Roscoe followed quickly behind, along with whatever was throwing things at them. They could hear it close behind, making a large thud with each step it took, stepping on branches and smashing through small trees as it ran through the forest next to them, all the while still throwing rocks. Roscoe runs into the forest, Tommy losing sight of his dog, when he then hears a roar and the same agonizing scream, only this time mixed with growling and snarling. Tommy ran into the forest, chambering another round, only to get hit on the head by a sizable bug. Blood started dripping from the wound, almost drenching Tommy's face and shoulders in blood. Once he came to his senses, he finished chambering the round and fired once again in the region of the head. Shouting to trees somewhere in the distance, Tommy went back to the cabin with Roscoe nowhere to be found. Tommy got a towel and covered his head to stop the bleeding, and sat down by the door to wait for his dog's return. After an hour goes by, Roscoe shows back up to the cabin, and Tommy's opened the door. Roscoe's covered in blood, face and all over.
No shit. To be honest, yeah. Most likely no shit. Those weeks like really bad. We didn't get no shit. Should have been a big incident, maybe.
Tommy goes quickly out of the car and back inside to grab a first aid kit that contains disinfectant and bandage. Tommy patches his dog up, and while he is doing so, he starts calling the sheriff. He brings out his phone, and to his annoyance, it has no signal. And is already getting Tommy into the drawing bag, ready to go outside. Tommy went to sleep while keeping his thoughts even closer to the phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it was a little almost had like when he keep his fucking his rifle handy. He'll swing it. Yeah, he swings it like in a
Tommy's thinking wakes up. There was no incident and nothing had tried to break in. That night, the air stood still and the air smelled of camphor. Tommy noticed the lack of noise, birds, and wind. In fact, it was so quiet Tommy could practically hear his mind flowing. He tried to go back outside to see if there had been any more signs of the creature around the cabin. Familiar with silence, he got into his head. Paranoid, he spent the rest of the day holed up in his cabin with his dog. They stood still, silent, staring out the windows under the tree line, inhaling the cool air and their own parts of the air, leaving and entering their brains. As they stared out at the trees, they could feel that something was staring back. The sun began to set, and Tommy would make himself a pot of stew on the stove while still staring out the window.
Okay, so more stew. Yeah. What is this? The 1800s? Should I go on the podcast? Yeah. That must be smelling. That smell like a stew. Yeah, a little bit. It smells like there's sweet peas in it. It's not like what you do with your hand after you touch it. My hand was really fucked up because I was squeezing it really hard. Yeah. It seemed like there was something on it after the fire. Oh yeah. Wipe that off. Jelly. Juice.
So good.
The juice of fart. The juice. Yeah. Fart juice. Yeah.
He turned the burner off and grabbed a tank of gas. Being inside all day required a lot of fuel, so Tommy went out later in the day to refuel before it became unbearably dark. He headed back inside and turned the stove on once more. He looked up to see it staring back at him. Inches from the window, the dark outside stood, staring back directly into his eyes. In a flash, Tommy drew his revolver and aimed it at the window, but the figure was already gone. He thought he might have been going crazy from stress, when he realized out of the corner of his eye that the motion-triggered lights had already been activated. It was real. In shock, he opened the door and looked out to see if he could see anything, but it was too late. The generator started sputtering from behind the cabin. It coughed twice. Then the mechanical heartbeat Tommy so relied on went flat.
Of course it did.
Don't. That's what you get for not buying a Honda generator.
That's what you get. That's what happens.
Dumbass. What do you think? What do you think you got out there? A Husqvarna?
Do they make generators?
Probably. It was pitch black. He grabbed a flashlight quickly from his car and ran out back to fix the generator. Thankfully for him, it was an easy fix. The lights turned back on with no issue. Then, from the kitchen, Tommy heard the shattering of glass, followed by his dog's barks and yelps. He crashed back into the house to see a dark, hairy, long arm reaching its way in, grabbing his pot of food. He drew his revolver and, without hesitating this time, emptied every round outside the window. The long arm that was grabbing for the chili had flung it everywhere, making a mess of the kitchen.
Kevin, in the office. Get it?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I do. Yeah. That was.
I thought of that. That's not written down.
That's not written down.
No, that's pretty good. So it's back to being chili. It was stew. It was stew. Not chili. It was chili. Ralph, that's the Chewy Pharmacy box with our flea and tick meds. It's not peanut butter.
And prescriptions delivered to your door. Chewy.
That's the end of the story. That's it. That's a true story. You know where it came from? Where? An anonymous 4chan user. So it's real. It's true. It's 100% true. It's 100% true. Trustworthy. We should trust him. So this is Peter King. You never seen this guy before right here? Yeah, this is true. He's a dog trainer. Got him lunatic. All right. Not only is he a dog trainer, he's also a goddamn great fucking lunatic. His little cover image thing is amazing. Yeah, he's crazy though. I mean, this dude's crazy. You go to the most popular videos, look at this 8-foot head frozen since 1953. Female Bigfoot forced me to do it. That's what I'm talking about right there. What does that have to do with dog training? Bigfoot used me to have a baby. Grown man cries. Yeah, dude. I mean, this is like next level stuff. Bigfoot masturbates. Man terrified. Police called. This is the classic.
This is where it happened. We're back here in this dry creek bed.
Yeah.
I was back here looking. I thought one of my dogs was back here, and I was like, how did the dog get out of the yard?
He's
I saw
packing.
No movement, and then I got back and well, maybe it's a deer.
Right.
And that's when I saw the female Sasquatch. You know, I'm like grabbing for a gun, and then I realized I didn't bring a gun with me. I didn't have a dog with me. I was back here by myself. I was terrified. And what happened was, as soon as I was knocked down on the ground, she starts ripping my clothes off me. She did. She pulled my pants off me, and I'm like, oh, great. What, she's going to kill me. They're going to find my naked body here. It's worse. It's worse. As soon as she got my pants off me, she started, like, jerking the weed.
She started jerking the weed. Yeah, so this guy, he had a real true encounter with Bigfoot as well. Yeah. This is true. What was the grip like? Does he say? I imagine they have kind of... Pronated. Pronated? Yeah, not supinated. Okay. Oh. That'd be supinated. That wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, this is Peter Kane that I wanted to show you. This is Peter Kane. Okay, just a quick, little, wrap up. Very curious. So I imagine they have pretty callous hands. Oh, yeah, big monkey ape hands? Yeah. Swinging from trees? Yeah. I don't think so. We don't know. They're not real. But anyways, so I imagine a Sasquatch would get a pretty firm grip on a weed, as he called it. Literally. On his weed. Skunk ape grip. So then, she just, did he finish? I don't know. Did the old man cry? Yeah. Also, this is just a little bit of a skunk ape, in case you weren't aware. This is our grandfather has been telling us stories of the skunk ape for years. This is one, 2000. That's a skunk ape right there. What do you think about that? They seem a little more friendly. Yeah. This looks like a man in a suit. Yeah. Weirdly enough. That's why they seem friendlier. Yeah, because it looks like a man in a suit. Critics note in that clip that the figure walks only in view of a camera that seemingly in a semicircle around the person filming specifically. Yeah. So, it was walking, but it was like, film me. Yeah. It wanted to be on camera. Yeah, it was like getting a bit of a diva. Pigsford's Finsta. Yes. Here's a Bigfoot as well. Bigfoot encounter. Normal Falls. Still haven't quite figured out what a Finsta is. It's a fake, like your second page fake Instagram. It's where you just fucking, I don't know, talk about your emotions and shit that literally no one cares about. I see. Or should care about. I see. So, yeah. You should either A, keep to yourself or tell a therapist. Pretty much. Yeah, get therapy. Yeah, get therapy. It's good therapy. It's good. As somebody who's never gotten therapy, get therapy. I've had therapy. It's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. I like my therapist. I haven't talked to him in 2 months. This is one of the mountain Bigfoot right here. This one's one of the most fake ones. So they find all this stuff here. Yeah, somebody made a little lean-to, I see. No, not somebody. That big ass motherfucker right up there. If that's a dude, that is a big one. That's fucking Magic Johnson. That is gigantic. That's a Wilt Chamberlain. From Conan the Barbarian right there. Yeah, that's a big fucking dude. That's a big Bigfoot. Yeah, that's huge. either a Bigfoot with a baby or it's a guy in waders crossing the river. Furry waders. Yeah. Mossy waders. Mossy waders. Furry waders. A child. I don't know if you see a child. Yeah. I kind of saw it this over here. That was a baby. Could be like a big baby. Yeah, it was a big baby. It sounds like a seven. Could be. I thought it was a river too. Because I mean, that looked like just a shallower. But if that's like a deep Bigfoot, and he's fucking doing Eddie, and he's like, sticking out, that dude is your name, bitch. It's your bitch. Yeah, residents of Cass, Elm region of Michigan say that there was too many hunters in the area, and the amount of open fields and size of forest would make the open area for Bigfoot to remain unnoticed for some time. So it wouldn't make any sense for us to be further down the river. There's not enough like habitat for it to stay casual and kind of see. Which that makes sense to me. That does make great sense. That's a pretty logical, like, skeptic viewpoint of a Bigfoot. There's no way to. So far, there hasn't been a single thing we've said. No, this is kind of sad. Honestly, I was hoping you would sway me. No, that's not my job. My job is to just make funny. There's a big Jogus Bigfoot. A beefcake Bigfoot. You know, a video starts like this with his fucking text and shit. It's so dumb. Yeah, this is fake. Massive Idaho Bigfoot on video. Something like this was in front of you, most people would record for almost 2 seconds. But obviously, I would record for 6 at least. I wouldn't record because I'd be fucking gone. Yeah, I'd be scared shitless too. You wouldn't get no footage out of me. Yeah, I'd be scared shitless. Because I bet that thing is fast. Bigfoot? Oh, no doubt. In America, but in Alaska, I guess it's quadruped. Quadrupeds are superior to yeah, big animals are. Yeah, they're big, but you know, beasts. Really, there ain't many. There's not. There ain't many biped beasts. Just us. Yeah, those monkeys. Yeah, because like kind of like a silverback. How fast did he go on his hunt? Many comments say that this is the most believable footage. Which is way believable. The Marble Falls one looks more believable to me. Okay, the problem with the problem with the Marble Falls is that was like 40 foot tall. Yeah, it's too tall. That was way too tall. Those skunky numbers. Yeah, more skunky. They did really big moving big witness. They bet in the really big way witness. He is that right. I was thinking about I'm not gonna prove it as like whatever it is. I showed the video.
to see the big furry ape man yourself? Well, experts say and agree that the Olympic National Park in Washington is the best place to find one. There's tons of food, lots of cover, as well as nearby rivers and salt water. Makes it a perfect place for them. Members of the Olympic Project, Eric Ramos, David Ellis, lead expeditions for Sasquatch enthusiasts. In an interview, Steve, I gotta have a saying. You don't find Bigfoot, they find you.
This is a really convenient way to say it doesn't exist. Yeah, really. I mean, that's like, could this be? Oh, this gets really serious, by the way. Okay.
Could this be what happened to the 22-year-old Jacob Gray, who, in 2017, disappeared after riding his bicycle into Olympic National Park during a rainstorm? One of the 1,600 people that were missing in the wild. Information relating to these disappearances was collected by David Politis, who found the North American Bigfoot search.
Missing 4-1. We know this guy.
David Politis is a very respectable man.
Yes.
I look up to his work. He's done a lot of study outside of like the Bigfoot thing. He's just in like missing people.
It's what's so fascinating about him to me is the amount of positive impact he's had with missing people in national parks and forests in the wild. But then also somehow it always comes back to Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, like his website, it looks totally legit, and it's all these missing stories. And if you were to just tell the stories, what he writes, it's be like, oh man, that's crazy. It's on that, and he's like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, his website is very, it's super documented, it's very cool, and then there's just like somehow like it's a little tale of Bigfoot, and yeah, it's weird. But it's also like kind of hard to find the Bigfoot stuff. was it? No, it was Thursday. Let's say it is
April 8th, giving an extra day for somebody to come to the abandoned bucket trailer. They found that they were absolutely undisturbed. The search began the same day, consisting of volunteers numbering 30 people and dogs. Nothing was ever found. Randy would arrive 5 days after Jacob disappeared on April 11th. The intention of joining the search. The others that had been to the search, such as Laura, some of Jacob's friends, were shocked to find that the search was unassisted by rangers. One thing you have to realize about national parks is that they operate outside of the jurisdiction of other federal, state, and county services.
That's why we cook them to death. We do, because the DEA don't give a shit, and they're doing it. And I'm afraid the DEA, they can't operate. Yeah, they can't operate their shit. I say, I'm a sovereign citizen and I'm traveling under the Constitution of the United States of America, written in Section 76, amended in 1811. Traveling, I'm a traveler, and they beat the fuck out of me and spray my face. As I wear this.
Jacob's bike had been discovered on the other side of the river. It was fallen in National Forest jurisdiction, which operates under county regulations. On April 12th, volunteers were requested from the Olympic Mountain Rescue. Trackers found that someone had ditched their hiking boots for running shoes. They were never followed into the river. This was nearly a week after the abandoned bike was discovered. The mood shifted among searchers. From then on, they could unit. And this time, under the assumption they were searching for a body. Others that were searching for people for blood. On a hit, on a log jam. Sometimes even that a body could be tracked with a computer. After all, log jams were searched for 12 miles. Nothing had turned up. The size of the search parties as you could see then began to be scaled back. Air shortening Jacob's size was now several miles down the river. For several up here, they were reporting like different forces. Jacob is the only person who's gone missing in the Olympic National Park.
Description delivered to you in 2 weeks.
Stranger, still, bodies that are recovered are often found in places that were already searched. Without clothing or footwear despite hypothermia being disapproved.
Last scene is coming through the volunteers, which may naturally be near the hedges. Crazy mountains case. We learned we did a big video on that. Got to be lost the cash. Power trip. People don't know about it. There you go. But we did one of that. This is some of that. They passed the class with my ass party. They're missing, which is Bigfoot been known to rip a man's pants off. I think our church was good. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it in this particular case. No, this is a very serious, sad, like this stuff that's happening all the time. One time I was like, yeah, this kid, he's coming in. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, this kid, yeah, Jacob was just biking along and that is weird too.
Randy, Jacob's father, later made the statement, I could see Jacob being adopted by a family of Bigfoot. They can remember, you know? Which would be good.
We do about a family of Bigfoot. Yeah. Like that person in Greek mythology was raised by wolves. Yeah. Who was that? What's his real name? Raised by wolves. Whatever. Raised by a fucking Bigfoot though. Jacob. Yeah. Jacob was raised. Jacob's not raised by wolves. Jacob, they're joking about him getting along with Bigfoot. Yeah, like they're like, oh yeah, my son's missing. He probably got, yeah. Probably got adopted. Yeah. Did we a weird take on that? Not like, hey, my son's missing. Maybe they will live with it and beat the shit out of him or something like that. He's very optimistic. Yeah. But not that they beat the shit out of him and killed him if they maybe he's one of the maybe he's one of what they did jerk his that's for sure. We can confirm that.
Randy would continue to search for some, seeking help from whoever would listen. Eventually found himself meeting with the Olympic Project members, who allowed him to
more like
Yeah.
Bigfoot and like
Maybe